Hello, listeners. How are you today? And welcome to episode 80 of Push2Plat. It was wonderful to have a little break last week. I know many of you have now got your PS5s, or look, they must be so close you can touch them. As our guest today, I believe, has just arrived today. I hope you're having a wonderful time. But look, nestle back, cozy up a little bit to us here while you're downloading all those games that I hear take a while on this wonderful next-gen system. And join us for a conversation. It's been a requested guest, I would say here. Of course, we're all trophy whores, although sometimes we drift away from that on this show. But it's my pleasure today to firmly come back to center. We're going to look at a guide content creationist, a YouTuber extraordinaire, I suppose we could say, a wonderful fellow from Croatia, the Overhyped Gaming channel. How are you today, sir?
Hello, and thank you for nice welcome to your channel. I'm good as I got my PS5 today.
Well, look,
Finally.
Yes, finally. I want to get to that. Before we do, you are the first guest from Croatia. We had a little talk at the start, but look, I've got to ask, what is it like living in that beautiful country? Because every picture I see, it's stunning. You have some stunning places there.
Yeah, it is somebody's dream. Some people that I talk to, they would like to live there, but for me, it is maybe a bit of a same because for too long I have been here, and I see out in other countries a lot of changes that maybe I would like to implement here, but it is not possible. But overall, we are almost the most beautiful country in Europe. We have everything natural, and we have a lot of protected natural monuments and nature.
Look, while I was just doing the preamble there, listeners, I forgot to say that Overhyped is also the number one content creator, according to his profile, in Croatia on PS4 and PS5. You have, sir, a staggering 941 platinums. That's a lot.
Yeah, and in a quick time, 2 years probably. Yeah, I was trophy whoring for a lot of time.
Yes, yeah. Look, what I love to see here, sir, is that you only have 13 ultra rare trophies. This is wonderful number. Very good.
Not very good.
Look, I only have a couple more, like 15. So look, I appreciate that. I think that's wonderful.
I like to look at them when I just achieve the platinum and there is nobody else around. Maybe first achiever. Then it comes to a number like 40 until somebody arrives. More people play the game. So I take that. I take that number as an example.
I like that. Now, we're going to deviate slightly here. Of course, the wonderful, and I'm sure we'll come back to this later, the wonderful My Name is Mayo 2 recently released. And of course, for some reason, the way the list synced, all those trophies were ultra rare. So I got 60 extras there for a day or two. It was wonderful.
Yeah, you should have a print screen of that and brag every time.
That is as good as it gets, as we say in English.
Yeah.
I like it. So look, before we get to the PS5, and I want to talk about that as well, obviously today, could I ask just a little of your gaming history, how you got involved in gaming and what you love about it?
Well, I love about it the most that I came back to it. I was playing with my brother for a long time when I was little. Then somehow I got more into the sports during the college and everything, and I forgot about the games. Then when I came back, I was a little bit bored in a new apartment in a new it is a region. So I bought a PS4, and man, have the things changed over the 10 years? I was immediately overwhelmed with everything. I started playing a lot of games. I didn't know. I wasn't even in that world for some time. So it was a really nice comeback to the gaming world because I was used to very old games for something like Ratalaika today. That was in my time when I was playing. It was the only thing that existed. No, so when I came, so cutscenes like movies or playable movies with different endings, I was astonished. And that is how I mostly started gaming. But always, forever, I can say forever, always on PlayStation console.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Why PlayStation then? If you'd taken a break, why PlayStation?
Uh, games,
Yeah.
mostly games. 90% games. I don't think that. Yeah, there are certain differences between consoles. Of course, companies do different things, but mostly games, I think, are responsible for good consoles, and that is what Sony is doing right now. I
Mm.
think that this is the best launch ever, and it will be very tough to top it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, hopefully PS6 is not around the corner with the price tag of the five. We need some time on it, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, we will get to that, but look, I've got to ask, this is something we sort of do on this show. The Overhyped Gamer. I love that name because it's fantastic. But how did you settle on that? Where did that come about?
I had a lot of problems with that. For example, my first name on the channel, old members would know, was Hope Continues. I was a die-hard Far Cry fan, and I had everything related to Far Cry on my channel, and I couldn't do anything else then, no. So. It came as a bit of a mix. I know that I am very, very hyped as a gamer, and my girlfriend always tells me, looks me, I'm crazy, and but I'm hyped, and but there are hyped people, and there is me. I'm overly hyped about everything. The Cyberpunk show, nice, overhyped. Some collector's edition, overhyped. So I think that it is right fit for me
Hmm.
because yeah, I tend to overhype everything because it is nice. I have some quite of I developed a lot of passion for this.
You're well at
Yeah,
home in the PlayStation community because I'm sure you've noticed trophy hunters, they get very hyped. They get very excited sometimes. So it's
as we should be. We live in an era that is unbelievable, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, I want to also ask you your favorite style of game because many of our audience have come across you in the recent months for your trophy guides and video guides for predominantly shorter games. But if you're just playing for fun yourself, like what type of games do you like?
Narrative driven.
Mm,
I like a good story. I'm crazy about good stories. But if you can see also that on my profile, I almost play every game that has quite a lot of narrative in it. And Far Cry is my favorite game just because of that. Every I don't know if you have played before Far Cry
yes.
games.
Hmm.
Every Far Cry game is very, very story driven. Yes, it is FPS, but it is very story driven, and you can just imagine yourself in that situation. That is what I like the most. The story where I can put myself into that story and maybe just see how it goes. Have some high pressure when you don't know what is going to happen. That is what I like the most in the games. Or something like Assassin's Creed, where but the new Assassin's Creed. Oh, I also like old ones, but the new, where I kind of a different story, play story with my own pace, and I choose my own story. Where I don't know if you have played the last Assassin's Creed, but it is RPG like.
Mm.
So that is the kind of the games that I like to play a lot in my free time.
Yeah, this is what I'd like to ask you then, because looking at your channel, there's no disrespect to other guide creators, but a lot of these guide creators like to create guides for short games, and that is the only content they put out, or whatever else. There's no videos on longer games or strategies or whatever else. They're just in there, like many trophy hunters, like for the quick trophy and to help out the community. But looking at your channel, you have a very wide range of videos. I mean, you have stuff here on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you have Call of Duty Black Ops, as well as My Name is Mayo 2 there as well. So
Yeah.
is that important to you to do a wide range of games?
Yes, that is my main goal. I just started, and my main goal is to have a wide variety for everybody. I don't like to focus on one thing. It would be maybe good for me, but I'm mostly here to help other people, and I like to do different things for different people, and maybe that will gather us together towards the gaming, and maybe I can help that way. So that is why I'm focused on every game that comes out, and if I like it, then I cover it.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Let's come back to your content creation a little bit later if we can. And I have to ask you, you said the PS5 has just arrived. Or this morning. It's very exciting. Would you like to talk to us about some of the stuff you've already played on there and your feelings about the system?
Yeah, it is. I made a perfect comparison in my head already. I would like to describe it like this. Let's say that when you went to cinema, then you first had 2D, no? And let's say it is a PS3. Then then came the 3D movies, and let's say it is PS4. And then came the 5D movies where you move, your chair rocks, something rains all over you. This is PS5. uh, I was not aware. I must say I was not aware. Yeah, controller is great. Yeah, system is great. You cannot know until you have your hands on it how good it is,
Mm.
because what I experienced today with my controller while playing Astro, it is amazing. This was probably I would, if somebody would ask me, I would put it in top three moments in my year, gaming year this year. I could feel different materials on my controller, different vibrations, wind blowing like really, really blowing, and completely different era of gaming, I think.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think that's a good point. Like, it's hard to know what it's like having not played it, I suppose. And to be honest with you, as we talked before, I don't have one or whatever else, and I don't have any intention of getting one anytime soon. And I did see, a couple of weeks ago, you were saying that it was difficult to get one, or whatever else. And I was hoping this morning that, and I know this is a dreadful thing to hope, listeners, but I was hoping this morning you wouldn't have a PS5 so we could just be bitter and angry together. But now you do. we've got to experience this wonderful thing. So I want to ask you. I know it's only fairly early on in your gaming or whatever, but we've heard some wonderful things about the controller. But how about the load times? Have you? And I know you've only played a little bit so far, but have you? Is it noticeable the speed?
So far, I didn't notice. I noticed the speed in system a lot more.
Mm.
And I think not that I'm sure that the download speed is much much higher. I was able to download today. I usually have a very bad internet. It is in this region, in this country, we are not very popular with that. But I think that PS4 5 has a much better download speed than PS4. Usually on PS4 you had to close your application, you had to restart download, then something would happen maybe. Here I think it can focus much better on download exactly. And I also noticed store is a different thing. It is still for me a little bit messy. you can, it is much faster, of course. You can enter it immediately, search it, but you cannot search things that you want without having a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you want to search for new games, then you have to scroll all the way down. Then you have to select PS4 or PS5. You cannot select them both. Then you need to select, and then they automatically make a filter most popular. Then you need to select newest first. Then it refreshes. Then you have your filtering. Yeah, I don't know why they even. I know that they wanted to make something new with the store, but the old store also on web, it was the best store so far to date. No? This new store, I'm hardly in.
Look, I totally understand. I tried to use that web store last night, and I know there's people that don't like it, and I know they're angry, but look, I just want to give a shout out to Sony. They've made it basically impossible for me to give them my money now. I just can't figure it out at all. I can't find anything that I want, and last night, to be honest with you, Overhyped, I actually just closed the thing and thought, fuck it, I'm turning on the Xbox, because it's just too difficult to deal with. And what I will do, and it's not endorsed by the show in any way, so take of this what you will, but I would suggest jumping on PSN profiles and searching out this guy called Nathaniel John. I don't know if you've seen this, Overhyped. He's made some sort of script of the store that you can run. It's almost like another version of the store, and it's a sort of a combination of how many trophies in the game. It also lists time of the game. It links guides sometimes.
Really?
It's quite a phenomenal. Yeah, it's like a thing he's working on. So I don't know if all the games are there yet, or there's a lot of games there already, so all the new stuff is there. So I think it's a work in progress, but just with anything, it does allow you to log into it. With anything, I'd advise your listeners to be highly careful of that. You can use this store without logging into it, but it's an individual pursuit, not endorsed by Sony. So if you put your account details into it, that is on you and your own decision.
Yeah.
But not entering your account details, it's really something worth looking. So I'd highly recommend checking that out.
Thanks.
You as well.
I will check it. I didn't see it yet, but it will probably be in the feed because it is probably popular. I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the most thing that I lost track of my Vita games.
Yes. Yeah.
For example, Takotan. How was it called before Takotan? It was called before.
Octo something.
Yeah, Octo something. We can agree on that. Until 2 days before, 2 days before this day, the all links to the store still worked, and I could see that it arrived on an old store. So I purchased immediately, and yesterday I think that all links stopped working. I don't know if same on PSN profiles. Someone listed all the countries and the way to enter the previous store, how it was before, but it is long gone for now.
That's a shame.
So this is a very not only for me. There are other content creators out there, but it is a very step behind because I need to watch all the time for new games. How can I cover anything on my channel? Or I would like to always. I would like to say that my also goal is you can always have something first on my channel, and I cannot do that if I cannot find the game. No, so that is another problem.
Yes, yeah, that is very true, and you guide creators and content creators. You're very annoying because I had a Macaron recently, the Xbox content creator, and he did the same thing to me. Overhyped, I thought we'd run in a little bit of structure here, on this show. We might talk games and then we'd get into the topic, and he kept throwing out wonderful things that I wanted to ask about, and you've just done the same. But I want to come back to that needing to get stuff out quickly thing if we can in a moment. But before we do, yes. So I'm not letting you off the hook there. But before we do, let's talk some actual games because there'll be many people that want to hear about this Astro's Playroom, and I've heard wonderful things about it, but as I said, I haven't played it. Can you please tell me about it?
Yeah, I was asked some questions today. I did announce on Twitter that it was my first Platinum PS5, so I had some questions. First of all, the difficulty. It is it is one out of. I was sometimes. How will I say? Some comments were not. Said that I was not okay with the time I said on my YouTube, and I was not okay with difficulty. So I would probably say 2 out of 10. For me, Astro was 1 out of 10. Because I look at the games differently, and everybody looks at the games differently. I would like to maybe explain what I think. For someone, the difficulty is because you need to do playthrough on hard. For someone, the game is difficult because you need to do speedruns. For someone, it is because it has a lot of collectibles. So there are a lot of different factors, and you cannot use that factors for somebody. For example, I like to collect collectibles, and I like to do hard playthroughs, but I don't like to do speedruns. And I cannot then say, yeah, it is 1 out of 10. So I would say Astro Playroom is a 2 out of 10, and maybe 3 out of 10 with DLC. DLC is not optional for Platinum Trophy. And it is an enjoyable game from start until the end. It has 4 worlds. Each world has 4 stages, and during your way, you can just collect everything that you see, everything that you would like to interact. It has a lot of beautiful interactions. For example, I found Final Fantasy VII's sword. Sometimes there were some of the Astros that were playing PS3. Then I found PS Vita and PS Vita games. I found the third Colossus from Shadow of Colossus. It was nice remembering everything like that, and it was really cool. And the game should take you about 3 to 5 hours to completely platinum it. And nothing is missable. You can visit, and that is very fast. You can visit each level in about 10 seconds. I was in one level on another stage, and I wanted to go back on the first level on first stage. It took about 8 to 10 seconds, and I was already there ready to play.
It's wonderful.
And I can also say that they integrated nice also the help. That is maybe the future of gaming. I don't know. They have, as you can see, you still don't have a PS5, but I'm sure you will. You have you saw that they integrated help videos in games.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is really good, I must say. It takes about 20 to 25 seconds each video. For example, why do I say it is good? Because the game has some sort of tracking. So if you have 3 out of 4 collectibles, then it will automatically know. It will not show you like probably my videos. No, my videos would show you complete 4 collectibles, but the game itself, it knows that you're missing still only one, and it will show you exactly that one, and that is the one that you need exactly in that moment. That is much better and much quicker. So you just open the video, watch it for 15 seconds. And what I liked the most about it is that they didn't spoil anything. Like they just show you a little bit of path, little bit of guidance where you need to go, but they don't ruin the surprise.
Yeah, look, I want to ask you about that from your perspective now as a content creator, because in the last few weeks, a few different creators on both sides, the Xbox and the PlayStation, have brought this up to me, and we've talked about it. And one of the things that interests me is, in effect, this, and I know you said your guides would provide all the collectibles, whereas this provides the one collectible you need or whatever else. And I also know this is highly dependent on the developer doing this. But can you see a world where perhaps your job as a content creator is no longer needed if the game is doing it itself?
Yes, of course. We must face that. I must say I like this I'm content creator and I should be angry, but I like this. Today I was only on PS5. You For this maybe without that help, you needed to open your laptop, search on YouTube. Then the problem with YouTube is if you have your content creator that you like, and you know that he will probably have guides out, no, you can immediately go to that content creator. But if he doesn't have that, then you need to search, and when you search, a lot of garbages comes out, no. So you search a lot more than you need to. For example, how would you search today? Astro, Playroom, Stage 1, Jungle, Puzzle 3. What would YouTube say? Some random movie. So yeah, it is much better. And you stayed on PS5 console. You didn't leave PS5. That is what they want, and that is what they will push for sure, I think. So yeah, but we must be prepared for it, and if that happens, you can always try to find another way to do something helpful for community. Huh?
Yeah, I agree. I also see the flip side of it, which I don't get seen talked about a lot. And I know, look, I know better than anyone that dealing with Sony is a challenge. You know, they're not very interested in anyone, you know, particularly. But it does open up a market, I would imagine, with developers because, you know, many of them are not used to creating guides and things like this sort of content. And it is a highly specialized and skilled area that people like yourself have developed, you know, and learned how to do very successfully. I can see a world where some of these developers commission people like you to create these sort of content in game. You know, perhaps not in this next year, but as we go forward, definitely. And I think that's an exciting possibility as well.
Yeah, of course, because we must also think as business people.
Mm.
Uh, it is a lot of money for somebody to sit there and make video guides, no.
Mm. Mm.
Um for example, I'm just doing my example. I don't know for everybody else, but if somebody like I let's not name anybody, but let's go wide variety. Ubisoft or Ratalaika. I don't really care, but
Mm.
if they offer me just a free game, of course, I don't. I would not need any kind of compensation or anything. No, so free game is a very nice gesture, of course.
Mm.
No? Yeah, that could also happen, but we cannot know yet what kind of cost that is for developers. I think that every Sony game will have that help, but other games we will still need to see that.
Yes, yes. That's a very good answer. I like that. Now, look, I've got to ask you about Bugsnax. It's wonderful to see Pokemon has appeared on the PlayStation 5. I see you've only just started it, though. Is it too early to make any comments, or...?
Like 40 minutes played.
Mm.
Innovative. I can say innovative. I was a skeptic when starting, but innovative. I liked the different kind of ways that you need to approach to catch some bugs. It is really just that simple. I was thinking, oh, wow, really? I would have to catch bugs for 10 hours, 15 hours. Then it was a lot of different things. To catch some bugs, you need to lure them out. Then you need to lure other bugs out. And it is a lot of different things that are quite innovative. And also, they have implemented the PS5 triggers
Mm.
in the controller. So it is also a nice feature where I still learn and see how it reacts to different things.
Okay, well, maybe we can talk still about Bugsnax, but a little bit of a different different direction or angle. You have 941 plats, so that tells me you're not afraid to stack the same game more than once, 10, 20 times perhaps, as you go to build that plat count. Now, this brings up an interesting point with a few of these cross-gen titles like Bugsnax. They have a PS4 stack and a PS5 stack. I know we're going to see a lot of games like this in the near future. Some have free upgrades, some do not. Bugsnax is not one of those. If you want to play it on the 4, you have to buy it. But are you going to be interested down the track to stack these games on the 4 and 5? Or do you think now that you've started playing the 5, you won't be coming back and playing the 4 too much?
No, I will be playing, but I will be playing PS4 versions of the game on PS5.
Oh, you can do that, can you? The PS4 stack.
Yes, you can also choose, for example, Assassin's Creed Valhalla today. If you press options on the game, then you can see the product, and it says which version of the game it is. If it is a PS5 or PS4 version. So you can choose between those versions, and you can play it however you want. So if you play PS4 version, you will earn PS4 trophies.
I didn't know this. That's interesting. It's sort of terrifying as well because, for those of us that perhaps care slightly about the leaderboards, the degenerate trophy leaderboard, it makes it even more fearful now for when Ratalaika start to offer the same thing, a PS4, PS5 double stack. How will we keep up? I have no idea.
I don't think that they will overwhelm us with that.
I hope not.
I don't think that it will be a tweet one day. Okay, guys, here is 100 games free for PS5. No, I think that they will do that with their weekly releases. For example, next week they have some new game that they developed, but also we have a concept destruction that comes next week. No,
yes.
But also we have that integrated with PS5, and it is free for you if you have it. So I think that they will not say you can. Maybe they will. I cannot say, but I don't think it would be a smart move from them. I think it will be much better that if they just pass along like weekly releases, or maybe 2 releases in the week, but it is too much. I think that regions are still a thing on PS5. I don't mind regions. I like them. I like them. So because some of the games that I like, I can play more times, and I can earn trophies for them. So it is nice to me sometimes. Yeah. For example, Far Cry. For example, sorry for interrupting you. For example, Far Cry 5. I would probably play it once a week until I platinum, if it has new trophies every week. But unfortunately, it doesn't, and the leaderboard, as you say, it is there, so I cannot do that now.
Yeah. Look. There's definitely no judgment. I mean, it looks like I have a lot of plats, but I've really only played 10 different games. I've just played them hundreds of times across all the stacks. So look, I'm very much in favor of stacking games, and it's funny because I had a question come in this week, and it's a question I get quite often on PSN about how do you get started? What stores should I be using? How to, because they want to start building this plat count or whatever. And of recent times, and I know we touched on it before, was the Vita, and I see that you partake in Vita in regions as well. And of course, now that the Vita's gone off the store, you have to log. It's a bit of a process even now because you've got to get the game off the Vita, so you've got to be in your Japanese account on the Vita itself, not on a system now to buy it. And it's just another step or whatever, but it's still possible. But what I wanted to ask you here is that, of course, once you start playing on all these different stores, assuming you're not getting codes, it becomes very expensive very quickly. Do you think it's even... Now, I know to get to the very top, it's important, but I think there are so many games now, and, shorter games, medium-sized games within each region, that you can build a very healthy plat count without ever leaving your regional store.
Yes. It will not be that quick. It will not be that quick, for example, if you have 3 regions. But yes, without leaving your store, you can have. Phew, I'm. How can I say that? I'm a bit of disappointed that I didn't live in a PS3 era where platinums were harder. No, I
Mm.
wasn't playing that, so I would maybe appreciate that. But as a content creator, I can say that a lot of games came out this year under 1 hour. Most ever, I think that most ever.
Yeah.
This year I got I would like to have 1,000 platinums until end of the year, and if we take into account that I had 450 at the start of this year, uh, a lot of short games,
Yeah.
a lot of short games. So getting 500 platinums in year 2012 2030, impossible, impossible thing. uh, so we must, but there are a lot of negative things that people say about that.
Of course.
I would like to say something positive.
Good.
You cannot change your situation. No,
Mm.
you must deal with that. Okay, year 2013 was like this, 14 was like this, PS3 was like this, but today is today, and you cannot change that. As you can see, we have easy game every week, but it is your choice if you like to play it, if you don't like to play it, of course.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it is playing like that. It is your choice. So yeah, I don't think that this is the negative thing. I think that it is a positive thing that we have a lot of variety of the games.
Mm.
uh, for example, let's say that you have platinum the Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you have no other games. The good example was first 4 months of this year. I'm pardon me. No big AAA title was released until, I think, until Doom Eternal.
Mm.
So nobody had anything to play until some backlog or anything. It is not good for a gaming industry to not have variety. And I also like to support indie games and small developers now.
Yep.
So I don't think we should be negative about that. It is everybody's choice, and it is a situation we have today.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I think some of it is people, as you say, that have been around for so long that it has changed a lot, as you say, and perhaps they don't like the changes, and therefore they're very vocal about that as well. Whereas, you know, everything moves on, and I get a feeling this PS5 is a good point for a lot of people to step off the trophy wagon. That, you know, if they haven't liked what's going on, and you know that's their choice, as you say, it is a good time to maybe move away, and I think that's good too, because I think these people have definitely had their say, and I think it is time to move on. But I'd just like to pick up on that point too, just furthering that question. The reason I bring up staying on your own regional account is, and I know it comes back to price or whatever, but I often get asked, you know, roughly how much money it costs to stay in the top section-ish of the leaderboard for someone that doesn't receive codes, someone that doesn't, you know, get handouts from Sony and this sort of stuff to a degree or whatever. And, you know, and I know I'm detracting here, slightly overhyped, but just give me some rope here for a second.
No problem.
But you know, it is very expensive. And I know people go, oh yeah, it's expensive, but and this is what I find interesting too, Overhyped. Like I had a friend that gamed a lot about 3 or 4 years ago when I started gaming a lot, and back then you had to use visual novels. You know, you didn't have to, but back then it was standard to use visual novels to get quick plats because there wasn't Radalika and there wasn't you know, these companies that were putting
$60 visual novels, no?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he told me, and he it was very lucky because he was a physical collector, and so he had the largest collection of physical visual novels in Australia. And he's told me at that stage he was spending about $20,000 to $25,000 a year on visual novels, which is a lot of money, for anybody or whatever. Now today in 2020, I mean, you would be hard pressed to spend that amount of money on all these stacks, because these games are $4, not the visual novels, but the Ratalaika.
Yeah.
So basically, my point is that it's even the field, because before what was happening was there were either some very wealthy people just throwing money, at a machine to build plats, or there was the other side where they were joining digital share accounts and sharing games between them and dividing the cost. But now, at least, it's a bit more open for everybody in that, for $100, you can buy a lot of games for plats if that's your interest. If you don't care about the game or how long it is, you can get a lot of plats for $100. But back 5 years ago, you couldn't. It didn't work that way. So I think another positive is, and I think this is one of the problems that some of these people perhaps have, is that it's a much more even playing field now than it's ever been. You don't have to be throwing huge amounts of money anymore to build up your plat count, which I think is very encouraging. I particularly like that.
Yes, of course, I agree completely with you. And also, if you are a little bit just more smart, if you don't have if you don't have enough money in this year, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 times in this sale, only digital sale. All the Ratalaika games were like $2. So if you like a little smart and say, okay, the game came out this week, I don't have enough money. I will save the money that I wanted to buy this game and save it for some hot deal. And then it comes in August, all digital sale. The game you could buy before for $4 is now $2. You just maybe need to be more patient, because even those games they need to have sales. I think that it is also regulated by Sony, but they also need to have sales sometimes. And the previous wish list was the best thing that you could have. Now I have my Excel document, but wishlist on PS Store, I know, for example, I knew that something was easy platinum, but it was like $20. Okay, I will just save it. Every Here in Croatia, every Wednesday, store changes and the new deals came. I think it is general, not only in Croatia, but I was used that I go every Wednesday on my wish list first and see if any of the games that I knew that it was easy platinum but were too expensive were at a lower price. Discounted, yeah, were discounted. So just it was also sale until the Friday. Today, I think this is the last day of the sale. It is currently on store. Just a moment. Yeah, it is. It is already Black Friday. No, it is already Black Friday. My God. Okay.
Don't miss a chance.
Yeah. No, but just be a little bit patient. And what I would recommend, get a Twitter, and follow all those developers. Follow their tweets. They will always tell you about the new stacks, when it is coming to new regions, when the games are discounted. For example, I think that Ratalaika had like 3 tweets a day for her sale this week. So it is a good thing.
It is. It is. Now, let's shift gear a bit. You have an interesting game on your list here. Now, I'm pretty sure you've probably created content for this as well. It is only a 100% game. It's the Death Come True. Now, I picked this up a few months ago on the Switch when it came out. It's by the creator of the Danganronpa series, I believe. I think it's an FMV. I haven't had a chance. It's a travesty. I've had it for months, but I haven't played it yet. I know it's not cheap on the store or whatever else. I also know it's a kind of quick completion. What is it, and is it any good?
Yeah, it is the kind of the game that I like, narrative driven the game with a lot of different choices where they have different scenarios. And I would say, I did say on my video that the game is too high, but I need to I need to clarify that the price is too high if you only want trophies, but the price for the game itself, it is not too high. Because for the trophies I played the game only 40 minutes on my channel, but in general you could play that game for 2 hours probably and have a decent experience. Because I don't know how do you like, but I like those movie games where you kindly like watch TV show or movies and just have different endings. It was it was something like Bandersnatch. If you played it on Netflix,
Oh, good.
yeah, it was amazing.
I love games like that. I was hoping when I saw the 14 minutes and 4 seconds, I was like, I wonder if that's the length of the game or if that's just the trophies. But that's good to
No,
hear.
no.
It's just the trophies,
No,
yeah.
it is just a quick rush through the game because with D-pad you can go forward and backward. So I only so I went forward until the next choice, chose the next choice, so forward until the next choice. It was really just rushing through the game to show you all the endings, or if you just want to see answers, you can quickly see the answers now.
Yeah, I like that. And just to, we call those FMV games for short here, I suppose, in Australia, or full motion video. There's a recent release, which I imagine you'll be looking into perhaps for content.
5 dates.
Yes, I don't know if you've played it
Yeah.
yet. Wonderful, I loved
Uh,
it. So
I wanted to make a guide for that. I really tried, but I think I won't be making guide now. Maybe in the future I will do it because I need to play Demon Souls, man.
well, look, no, I understand, and there's no rush. Of course, we're talking here of 5 dates, Wales Interactive published game listeners, and
Yeah.
what I'd suggest is, if you don't have time to play it now, if you've got Demon Souls there or whatever else, listeners, whack it in your spreadsheet, not your wish list, I suppose, because this year has been really interesting, overhyped for games that parallel, this pandemic that we're going through. Obviously the extremes like Last of Us 2 or whatever, but then this 5 dates, it's set in the UK, and it's all it's all filmed, I think, on phones or whatever else, and it's set within this concept of lockdown, and how you virtually meet people and date, and how you continue to live as a human in lockdown. And for people in Europe and America in particular that have gone through a lockdown, I'm sure they understand this. But in Australia, touch wood, we've been lucky enough to avoid that, in Sydney at least. And it's really eye-opening to see what it's like for mental degradation and also just for life. And I think this 5 dates, it'll be a little bit timeless, this game, in that, you could come back in a few years' time or 5 years' time, perhaps, and when you've forgotten what it was like this year, perhaps, hopefully again, and it's a really firm piece about what it's like living, in the UK at the moment. And if for no other reason, even if you don't like these sort of games, I'd highly recommend looking into it for that reason alone, because for me it was eye-opening, and then I just couldn't stop playing Overhyped because I wanted to see how this new life, I suppose, is being lived at the moment. It was fascinating for me.
Nice. Yeah. I that is what I like the most about the games. That atmosphere. When you experience that atmosphere, that feeling, that you know that something is happening, that something is not right, and that is what is happening right now in the world. No, something is happening that is not right. So yeah, tough
Yeah.
times. I hope that we will go through them all safely.
Yes, yeah. Now, look, I'm gonna just slam forward here, away from that heavy topic. I have to ask you about the Dark Pictures anthology, Little Hope. We've talked about it recently, but I see that you're one trophy short of platinuming it, so I'll forgive that. But did you enjoy this? I know you made. I'm pretty sure you made content for this game as well. Yes.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 videos. I wanted to do more, but I was really unlucky these 2 months, man. I Every game that could possibly be late for me was late. So Man of Medan, sorry, Little Hope. It was due to on 30th November. I got it on 5th November due to COVID. That is because I ordered physical version of the game. No? And at that time, a lot of guides were out. Even though I I had pretty good ideas for guides, but it would not be very much watched. But then I saw a few trophies that people were struggling with, but that I got fairly easy, or I could explain it fairly easy. Let's say better that way. So I try. I did the guides on that game, and that is also the kind of the game that I like. I platinum the Man of Medan. That is why I wanted the physical version because they said that it is going to be a series of games. I want that collection because beautiful games. But you so nicely one trophy short. Uh, I am
I'm nice like that, aren't I, sir?
yeah. I am really the problem with the game. The game is nice first 4 times. But
Yes.
I am just sick and tired of the same thing. I need a break. I think I need to play only half an hour to get that trophy.
Yeah.
But I cannot play it anymore until sometime. Really, because the problem with the game is that you cannot skip cutscenes. You must do it
Mm.
everything, and there is in Man of Medan, the curator's cut and movie night they were made different. So you always had some kind of a different experience. In this, it is not that different, and that is the problem because you practically do over and over the same thing, as the Vas would say.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah.
The game is fairly easy, uh, not that hard.
Yeah.
Uh, you just need to have the right guide for the biggest trophies, nothing else.
Yeah, I like that. And now, look, I'm conscious of the time, and I do want to get over to talking to you about some content creation. But just before we do, I have a selfish question, if that is okay. I love
Of
to
course.
play Call of Duty each year, but I only ever play for the campaign. I don't touch the multiplayer. I see you've finished the campaign by the look for the new one. Is it any good?
Yeah, it is. It is the best campaign that I played.
Oh, excellent.
Um, I would recommend to anybody. I played first on Recruit, just to play the game, to maybe try to make guides during that playtime. But I would recommend to everybody immediately start to play game on veteran difficulty. First, it is not that hard. It is not hard at all. Let's say that it is. Did you play Modern Warfare? You did probably, no? And you did platinum
No,
it.
of course I didn't platinum it, but I played it.
The veteran difficulty is the same for. I think it is the same as in Modern Warfare. It is not really hard. There are a lot of checkpoints
Mm.
where you can get only by sometimes running to the checkpoint if you can't do anything better. But it is not that hard, and it gets that on veteran difficulty. You get that atmosphere that you should really get with this campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the it is the best campaign to me. Someone will probably not agree with me, but to me it is the best because they made such a different approach to a lot of things. You can now search for clues. You can now solve cases. So you can unlock the side missions. there are four different paths. I'm sorry, eight different paths in the game. So it is quite a new and different experience that everybody should experience.
Good. I will add that to the list. So, if it's okay, I'd like to move across to content creation, if you don't mind, and I'd like to ask you, like, why do you do it? What? Why?
Mm, for positive comment responses.
It's a lot of work, though, isn't it? For that.
Yes. Sometimes I feel very down, I must say. I'm out of sleep sometimes because I don't get codes very often, or sometimes not at all. If you see sometimes on my Twitter or somewhere else a giveaway, that is probably because yeah, they gave me a code too late, but the game was already like for 2 days. If I don't do the game immediately when it comes out, somebody else will, and of course nobody will watch my videos, or they will not come across that videos. No? So it is very tough, but I like to do this because first of all I like when people say that I help them. That means I don't think that somebody can imagine how that much means to me, because I work for 10 hours a day, and then when you come home, you see, oh, great comments, great guide, thank you, you helped me achieve something. I feel really good about myself because I'm giving back to the community that gave so much to me. And everybody should do that.
Mm.
I would encourage everybody to do that because why? Here is one pure example. You have a problem with trophy. If you go to PSN profiles on that game and just post on the forum, hey guys, I cannot get the trophy. Can you please help me? Does anybody have this trophy? Somebody will always respond. Somebody will always help. And you will get your answer, you will get your help, and you will always probably get the trophy in the end. And you can get easily boosting partners for the games that are not supported anymore, or you think that nobody played them, but you can always get boosting partners. So that is the community that always can give something to you. And if you can give something back, then it is great, I think.
That's lovely. I like that. Now, I want to pick up on that point of being first or being quick. And it's funny because, I've been around for a little while playing, and I think we're starting to see the next, and I know you've been doing this for a while, but you're definitely becoming more prominent in the last few months now, which is a wonderful thing. But we're starting to see the older guard perhaps slow down. And I'm thinking of, like, there are some wonderful guide writers, both video and text. I'm thinking of Velvet. I'm thinking of The Mind is a City. I think of Sean from Knuff's Guides. They're wonderful writers, but they don't produce a huge amount of volume. And what I like about their work is that when they do put out a guide, I know a lot of work has gone into it. I know it will work, and I know they're really passionate about the game. For you, you're trying to capture the market that is constantly moving forward with these games. Therefore, I suppose you need to be quick for that reason. Is that the sort of audience you're trying to capture, I suppose? The ones that are just buying these games and doing them the day they come out, pretty much?
It is hard to say. At this moment, I would like to capture everybody.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to. The problem is that I don't get a lot of content creators. They get codes 2 or 3 days before,
Yeah.
or I don't get that time. I buy it 90%. I buy it myself, and I buy it in the midnight immediately when I come from the job. If I see something easy that could be easy, I buy it and I try to make immediately content. And you said, yeah, I'm trying to be first, but you said Velvet. She is a great trophy guide writer,
Of
and
course. Yeah.
as you can say, it takes time, but it takes time. Okay, but when you go to her guide, it is flawless.
Mm,
It
mm,
is great. It is great. There is not a single misled or anything. It is a perfect guide. Okay, but problem with me, if I'm going to be the quickest, there are going to be errors.
mm.
There are going to be errors, and that is what is not good to me. I would like to be much better, but if I want to be quick, if I want to be first, that is the only thing. And so far, I did good, but there is going to be something that is not going to be right.
Yeah, no, of
Yeah.
course.
For example, sorry for interrupting. For example, the game came out in Europe, and I immediately made a guide, immediately put it out on YouTube. And somebody asks me if there is going to be. Why didn't I say if there are stacks of the game? I don't know. I don't know. If I
Mm,
say it in the video, I'm a bad person, and then there are not. For example, my name is Mayo. I could easily say, as the previous one was, this one is going to be the Vita also, and in the US store a new trophy list. I could say that, no, but I would be lying. I would be lying to the people. So I cannot say things like that in that moment, no. But I always go back, always how do I say that, my pin comment, it is always the most important thing in the video, because I always fill it up with new information. So if a new stack comes up, I always say it in the pinned comment. If a new physical release is coming, I always say it in the pinned comment, so I can so that I'm coming back to your question
mm.
about capturing people. uh, I would like to always stick some information for new people that are going to come, because this year we had a lot of trophy hunters, and the next year
Mm,
more and more people will become trophy hunters, and they would also need to
mm.
start from somewhere, no. So I think that starting from Ratalaika games, sometimes you games, is a good thing for you as a trophy hunter, and just to learn a system, just to learn a system, how it works in the in the leaderboard, and in the, let's say, in a new world. uh, so you can immediately see if you like it, or you don't like it, if it is too expensive for you, or if it is not too expensive for you, no. You can immediately see that. That is the thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a very good point about more and more people coming or whatever else, and getting into it as well. Yeah, I like that. What I want to ask then, and you sort of touched on this, but in the last few months, the guide, again, I know we're talking about short games predominantly here, but there's been a change in the guide creation. So I'm thinking back to a time, again, before perhaps I knew of you, and we had this guy called the Black Vulture who made a lot of these sort of guides that you're making now, and they were great, they worked, they were very standard, they were playthroughs or whatever, and then a few months ago, Bad Driver, he started to modify the form a little bit, and it's interesting because I think he was the first person that I saw that modified it, and suddenly we got very short videos, which perhaps didn't show the whole game anymore if it wasn't required. They were 2 to 3 minute videos that explained, you need to watch this, and you just do this, and that's it, or whatever else. And at the time, I thought, this is wonderful, because I don't want to sit here for 15 minutes if I only need 2 minutes worth of information. And I've always been big about that, maybe some guides are just way too long, or maybe people could put a little bit on. And then, I've noticed that you started doing this a little bit yourself. And one of the interesting ones for me the other day was the Vera Blanc guide that you did, that I used. And you put in everything, you needed. And then you had the puzzles at the end or whatever else, and you said you play it this way, then you can come back yourself. You don't need to watch this again or whatever to do it. And I really liked that. But then I saw a comment, and there's always people in the community that see things differently, wrong, or whatever else. But there's always this. And the comment was, if you're going to make a guide, make the guide so it shows me everything I have to do. I want to see 100% spoon feed me so I don't have to do anything but push the button. So where's the balance there, do you think, between people like me that don't want to see everything, when it's not needed, and then people that need their hand held the whole way?
Interesting. I did not see that comment. I usually see everything, but I didn't see that comment. Somebody maybe deleted it, but the balance is not anywhere. You cannot. You must know that you cannot please anybody.
Yes.
You can do the things that you think that are the right things. I did not modify anything. If bad driver did modify, I don't know, but I did not modify anything. The thing is in the games that came out. Some of the games did not need a lot of explanation.
Yes.
Trophy here, trophy there, do this. Miscellaneous trophies are those, 4 of them, and others are for playing the game. What is there to show you? No, because the game is really short. It is not a 5-hour game where I need to say everything about it. So that is where the short videos came up. But the right thing is always to try. For me, is always to try to show the people everything. Uh, of course, if I have the time, I would like to do that. But for the thing in Vera Blanc video, uh, it is very wrong for that person to make that comment because he didn't probably watch the video. I made a complete game guide from 1 to 15 minutes. It is a complete game guide, and it is playing the game without mini games. I played the game 3 more times. Played it Asian stack, played it North America stack, and I can confirm that my way was the fastest way. My way was why? Because when you play with mini games, it takes a lot more time than playing without mini games first, and also playing with mini games, you only need to do half
Mm.
of the playthrough to get the platinum, and the solutions were at the end of the video when you should have ended your first playthrough. And also in the pinned comment, I made a solution for every puzzle that you could have, written solution. So you don't need to scroll video anymore. You can just pull up the comment. The solution is this. Okay, the next solution is this. Okay, so I think I made it very, very simple. But as always, some people are finding it very hard to play those kind of the games. So
Yeah, no, that's a good answer. Perhaps modify is not the right word. As evolved the style, like it's moving forward. It's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing in my eyes.
yeah, you can see TikTok.
So a lot of our listeners are hardcore gamers or whatever else, and doing something quickly is of interest to them. I suppose what I find interesting, I don't really care how long it takes. Obviously, quick is good. If the product is, you don't want to spend too much time with it for whatever reason. But one of the things that interests me is how you set up a guide, like how you attack, how you're going to set up the guide. And again, I refer to this Vera Blanc because I used a different walkthrough first that played the game. It set it out in a different way. And ultimately, there's only, the game runs like it does or whatever. But your way was unique. And I agree with you that it is quicker. And for me, it was personally the easiest way. But I suppose when you see a game now, are you straight away from the beginning thinking how you're going to structure the guide, or do you sort of play it and then you think about it, or how does that work? Because not every content creator is doing things the same way either, which is exciting, I think.
Yeah, I don't like to repeat the game unnecessary. I go straight for it immediately.
Mm.
I don't like to do it like I think of it like a waste of time and trophies. Of course, we are all for trophies here. I play the game
Mm.
first on my main account, and I earn all the trophies. Okay, why would I need to play the game second time on second account to make a video guide? I try to use my skills with video editing, so to make it much better. So far, it worked for me, except for a few games where I couldn't. I really needed to play the game for a second time. You cannot do that always, but I don't like to really do it because for the games like one of the game that I do that was a Mask of the Mists, and it was I played the game first 5 hours without the guide. It was I got the game that time. I got the game really early, and then I had to replay it, and it was 2 hours, and then I had to replay it again, and it was 1 hour and 40 minutes. That was the final guide. So I played it 3 times and only got one times trophy for it. So
Yes. I mean,
yeah.
it's a thankless job, but
Yeah.
look, I'm going to thank you for doing it because it saved me having to play it that many times.
Yeah, it is because it is hard. You want to do well on leaderboards. You want to do well with your platinum
Mm.
count. You also want to do well with your YouTube channel and with the people that are following you. Because let's face it, I have a people that care. I didn't think that before. I think that nobody cared, but I saw recently that I have a few people that really do care about the videos I put out. And if there is only one person that cares, I will for sure do that for them. I always ask also in that in the comments, and as you can see, my last Call of Duty video for solving that puzzle, I answered to every person the right answer to their puzzle. So yeah, I try to do as much as I can for community.
Just as again a selfish question, but I have to ask: does it particularly like in English in Australia here we have an expression called "irk your goat," which is sort of like annoy you but also make you laugh at the same time, I suppose. And what how I would use it here is like I see that your My Name Is Mayo 2, a wonderful game, you know it gets a substantial amount of views in a couple of days, whereas perhaps like a Call of Duty or a bigger an Assassin's Creed one here, it doesn't get as many. Do you do you find that amusing that these games draw such a crowd? I mean, for what it is.
No, I generally should. But I don't. I ask myself what is wrong with me. I ask myself what I need to do better. I don't understand really. I put up some good guides for AAA games. I thought they were good, but they got like I had three more videos for Call of Duty that were already prepared to launch, but for the last video, I got only 2 views,
Mm.
so I deleted them. I deleted them, so I won't cover Call of Duty anymore. But no, it does not anger me, but it does. It questions me. Why? I don't know why. Of course, My Name Is Mayo is popular. We cannot use that as an example.
Mm.
It was something that people were waiting for a lot of time.
Mm.
But a lot of other things. For example, there is a lot of competition. That is the first thing. I'm a small YouTube channel with a small amount of views. So somebody like me covering Spider-Man is not going to be big like somebody else's for sure. But a few of videos can make it, and that is what I'm maybe counting on it. But the main thing is to have an audience. The main thing is that without audience, you cannot do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, I like that, and I mean, as we're starting to wrap up here, listeners, I think that's a good note to almost finish on because one of the things that I see on the Xbox side with content creators, and a couple of them, Macca, Chivo Guides, Achievement Land, they've been around forever, and they have these really strong communities. And then you get to the PlayStation side, and you have yourself that is just getting bigger and bigger, I feel, and your content's wonderful. You've got people like Bad Driver. There's a few others, but the way the PlayStation gamer is they don't. They use the content or whatever, as you say, but they don't tend to form communities to the same... Now, some do, I know, as you said, but to the same degree. And I think, I'm hoping that the PS5, perhaps this becomes more of a thing because, there's a lot of people out there using these things or whatever. And I think, as you say, they just don't make that next step of reaching out. And I know, listeners, it's incredibly selfish. I mean, this podcast is just a chance for me to reach out and talk to people around the world that I find interesting. But you can, and I'm sure you'd echo this, Overhyped, you can reach out to these people that are creating this content and just, say, hey, how does this work? Or thank you for doing this guide, or, what do you recommend? Or Now, having said that, you're probably sitting there going, oh, please don't contact me, Overhyped. I'm not sure. But you are approachable, aren't you, for this type of connection as well?
Yeah, of course. Every comment for now. I cannot say in the future if ever I'm going to be a little bit bigger. But for now, I answer really to any comment that I really need to answer. There is a question. There is not. I put up a heart, of course, but I notice every person that comes, and that because it is very important to me. I have notifications, I have everything included because it is a new guide. And I also, as I said, it could have mistakes because I was rushing, because I was first, or I was not, but I was rushing. So if somebody has additional questions, I need to be there for them. I need to be there for them to explain it better, because I didn't do. If somebody has a question after watching my video, that means, for me, that is my opinion, I didn't do a great job maybe explaining it. So I need to do a better job next time on the video and do the best job I can on the comments section.
I like that you're moving forward as well with your own work. You're always looking to improve, and look, it's no surprise that you say you're small at the moment or whatever. It's relative. I don't agree with you, sir. I think you have perhaps a bigger influence than you think. But yes, sure, when you become massive and you've forgotten about us back here, in this little push to plat area or whatever else, we'll be able to remember that you came on and you shared today, and we got to learn about your story, which I do really appreciate, and I am very conscious that I've kept you for longer than I said. I know that PS5 is calling to you. So look, if our audience was trying to find you and your work, where's the best place to sort of follow you and what you're doing?
I am active on almost all social except Facebook. I don't like Facebook.
Understandable.
But on a YouTube channel, as Overhyped Gamer, you can always find me. There is a picture of little baby with a fist bump. That is after getting a platinum trophy.
That's fantastic.
And that almost same name, Overhyped G, is on Twitter and also on Instagram account, Overhyped Gamer. So I also on the Instagram account, if you like pictures, I put up some more pictures about collector's edition and everything Sony related. So if you want that kind of content, you can follow me. And also I do stories on Instagram, so you can see what I play at the moment, what I think about the game, and that.
That's wonderful. And look, again, I want to thank you so much for giving up some of your time today. It's really wonderful for me to put a voice and a person behind the guides that I've been using so much in the last few months. And I know you're going to continue to earn me many platinums to come, sir, which I greatly look forward to. But again, thank you so much for giving up some time today.
Thank you for having me. It was a big honor. I will never forget you, because it was my first. You were my first.
Oh, fantastic. And this will be the last time I come back. No.
Yeah.
No, that is wonderful. Again, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So there you go, listeners. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Overhyped Gaming from the Overhyped Gaming channel on YouTube, Trophy Guide Extraordinaire. Make sure to check out his content if you're in the market for a quick plat, or perhaps even something a little bit longer. And all his information is in the show notes. So why don't we shuffle across to the Push2Plat Platinum shoutouts for this week? There are a ton of shoutouts to get to. Remember, if you want to shout out yourself, then jump into the Discord and post your picture. Post a little bit about the game if you want to share as well. I'm still checking the PS4 communities. My understanding is that those communities have not moved across to the PS5, but if you're posting in there from PS4 or wherever, keep doing it. It's not a problem. We'll pull it. But if that eventually disappears as well, we'll probably have to go full on with the Discord. But, we'll see what happens there. So to start us off today, Onyx number 975 MXGP PS3. What a grind. And if you're not familiar with this game, it is a massive grind. Now, you might have played some of the MXGP games. You're like, yeah, nah, they're not that bad. Well, this one is because of a cock-up by the developer, by someone in the trophy programming department. They added, I believe, an extra 0 or something to the fan requirements, which just made it insane from like a 20-hour-ish, 15 to 20-hour game to like hundreds of hours or something. I think ridiculous. So congratulations, sir, on that one. Number 976 Grid, which is, look, it's another massive grind, isn't it? But an AFK grind as well. Congratulations. And Poor Latinum, number 989, Paw Patrol Mighty Pups, the NA version. Also, fastest completion time with 3 hours and 21 minutes. I did the EU version as well yesterday for my 987th Platinum. We talked about this game briefly, I think a few weeks ago or something like this. It's a fun kids game. Yeah, look, it is outrageously priced. It only comes in at about 7 or 8 missions, each which take about 15 minutes, maybe less. And there's just a series of collectibles as you go. But, look, aside from that, it's cool. It's fully voiced, but look, perhaps wait for a deep price cut. Gaz Davis, number 66 and number 67, Foxyland on the PS4 and Vita. Throwback to what games were like in the arcades back in the 80s. Well, there's a Foxyland too, sir, for when you feel a bit more of that retro love. Number 68, MotoGP 13 on the Vita. Zuche is back, number 51, Cars 3, Driven to Win. That's a really fun game. That is also grindy for a kid's game, isn't it, sir? Well done. Number 52, Pixel Junk Monsters 2. Sounds like a skill game, sir. Number 53, The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, it's all substantial games there. Well done. And number 69, this is for Gaz. Sorry, Gaz. How could I forget this one? Invisimals, The Lost Kingdom. What is this game, Invisibles? I have a feeling I played a little bit of this. I think it's trash, and I think it's sort of longer spam trash. But look, I could be wrong, and for that I apologize if so. But congratulations on that one. Boston George, number 199, Jump Force. It really is, listeners, the week of grindy games, because I know that's a massive grind, that game as well. Well done, sir. And number 192, Watch Dogs Legions. Pretty good story, but a buggy post-game cleanup tied to some unnecessary grinding. It definitely does seem to be a victim, Watch Dogs Legion, of the cross-gen leap, if you like. From my understanding, it was an absolute nightmare on the Xbox One X, and I'm not sure how it's looking on the Series X at the moment. And I think I personally had no problems on the PS4, but I bailed out after the story, so I can't comment. But I'm sure as time goes by, that game will patch and improve and improve. And it's wonderful to see you enjoyed it. I made an analogy on the Patreon episode the other week about this game being like The Division in its gameplay, and it, with the character swapping aside, it really is like The Division. And if you like The Division or Division 2, you're going to like this game, I think, if you approach it in that sort of a shooter way. The cover mechanics are exactly the same. When you're in buildings, the design is very similar, sort of the narrow, pitching, shooting range, I suppose, style levels or whatever, and blind corners and stuff. But it's good if you take it that way. And then, yeah, the story on the top, I thought was good, but perhaps not for everybody. Ed the Shed, number 140, Active Neurons 2, the wonderful puzzle of the NA stack, and number 141 and 142, Just a Phrase by Paugi, PS4, Vita, and EU stack. Mr. Tam has been busy, number 99. Whew, he's right on the cusp of a milestone. I look forward, sir, to seeing what number 100 brings you. 99 is Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time. Last game for the event, the Push2Plat event. I started it early on in my trophy career and got distracted by something else back in 2013. Finally finished. Fun game, more hyped for Rift Apart now. That's wonderful. It's wonderful this event has inspired you to finish the game. I hope you enjoyed it. You didn't particularly indicate either way in your comment, but if not, at least it's another game that's completed. It's no longer around your neck like a noose, slowly tightening every time you turn on the system and see that 2 or 3% completion staring there back at you. Best Trophy Hunter ever, CSO. Number 550, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Definitely not enough content to justify the £50 price tag, but still very good and fun. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? I think you played this on the PS4, like myself. So maybe, on the PS5, it is more justifiable, I suppose. And don't forget, we get the PS5 version as well. So I suppose it's something to look forward to there. And I think this is something you're going to have to look forward to in the UK, because the wonderful Jim Ryan, the eccentric Jim Ryan, sitting on top of the castle, he proclaimed in an article I read last week that he feels that £70 is a fair price for a next-gen game. So you can readjust your wallet, accordingly there, because this is what it looks like it's going to cost moving forward. Number 554. But look, there'll always be games like this, if you only got a few pounds in the week, there's always something like this available, and it warms my heart. Number 554, My Name is Mayo 2, and congratulations to you for clicking that out yourself. Number 555, Assassin's Creed Liberation. Some big games all around this week. 3 Spooky 5U, 100% in Trove. Again, it's to my loss, so I know nothing about this game other than I imagine it's a massive grind fest, so congratulations. I'm Starling on your bro. Number 231, Middle-earth Shadow of War, More Bore. You almost tripped me up there, sir. I am not a Lord of the Rings fan, or should I say dork. This worst game I've played all year long. Wow, that's impressive. This game must have been beta tested by Goldfish, because the repetitive gameplay loop barely exceeds the memory span of a Goldfish. Surely that's the only way this shovelware felt fresh enough to be greenlit. The game is extended by the worst background simulation of the game world. Funny enough, going into fights without a clan of stupid orcs was far easier than babysitting the inept fools as they got downed left, right, and centre. Whoever thought of having unskippable gameplay interrupting orc banter cutscenes should have their neck wrung. The game was ugly looking, if it was human. It'd most certainly have a face only a mother could love. The DLC also takes the crown for the laziest, uninspiring nonsense ever. Icing on the DLC shitcake was loads of comedy about as amusing as a truckload of dead babies. In its terrible fashion, the game annoyed me to the bitter end with terrible RNG luck for a few trophies. So look, there's a glowing recommendation for that game, obviously. I hope your journey is I hope it's not like that, but perhaps it will be very similar. You'll have to be the judge. It's wonderful there, sir. He's also smashed out number 232, My Name is Mayo 2. Holy hell, man. Just when you're about to lose hope in gaming, this instant classic hits the PSN store out of nowhere. Very rarely do I buy a game on launch day at full price, but I'm so glad I wasn't stingy on this one. That's right, isn't it? The irony of this game coming out in the launch week, they definitely lined this up, and I think it's a wonderful thing. It was actually, Mayonos folks at Green Lava Studios knocked it out of the park. It was actually jarring to see such unexpected innovation from this franchise. May your curiosity about the new innovations get the best of you and cause you to purchase this game. I did this the honest way, without a turbo controller, and it really lets you take in the full experience. You lose a lot of the bang for your buck if you lose a turbo controller. And that's one bang for $1. And you're not getting a better deal than that anywhere outside of Singapore. So I think I salute you, sir. Congratulations. Redbeard Rick, number 229, Astro's Playroom. Now, this is a big one because it is the first PS5 plat posted for the Push2Plat community. So I tip my virtual hat, Rick. You won't be able to see it because on the PS4, we're still playing in pixelated garbage. But, imagine a smooth, flowing tip of the hat that you would see and be accustomed to on that wonderful PS5. Provided it's on the hard drive, not on the external hard drive, Rick. Otherwise, you won't see it at all, I'm told. Anyway, Astro's Playroom, beautiful game that really shows off the DualSense controller. Collecting all the artifacts was a nostalgia trip that honestly brought on a rush of emotions, taking me back to being 11 and playing a PS1 for the first time. I got some really good use out of the built-in collectible video guides. I really hope all devs make use of this feature. It's wonderful that we touched on that topic today of the built-in guides with Overhyped and also that game. And look, I jest, but I'm hearing some really wonderful things about it. It seems to be the game that you should start your PS5 experience with. Well, outside of Mayo 2, of course, but it seems like something special. So I look forward to hearing more of that. Number 230. It's the best-selling game of the week. My name is Mayo 2. Really builds on the incredible world the first game hinted at. I know it's going to take a few years of development, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the thrilling conclusion in Mayo 3, the Vinegaring. You know what would be amazing is they just clean up with this game. Just make like a couple of mil or something. I don't know how that'll happen, but it might. Just make this huge amount of money and they turn Mayo into a AAA franchise open world game. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Microsoft could buy it. That's how they could fund it. It'd be wonderful. I really hope that happens. Number 231, Spider-Man Miles Morales PS5. Great game that leaves me badly wanting Spider-Man 2 to hurry up. Number 232, approximately a few minutes later, I suppose, Spider-Man Remastered. Did somebody say auto-pop? This is a really interesting thing, isn't it? I know it's mentioned again in the shoutouts in a moment, but for those of us on the PS4, this has to be a consideration, keep those discs or, keep those save files because it does seem like there are a few platinums now that we can earn here, then borrow a mate's PS5 down the track just for a sneaky afternoon and just smash out like 20 or 30 or 100 plats. Just by auto-popping. It's a wonderful thing. In a way, Sony are advising us not to bother with the new console. We heard about this with Microsoft, don't buy our console. But now Sony are like, here, have a plat. Just borrow your mate's system for the afternoon. And I think that's wonderful. Wonderful to see that they're playing the game with everyone. Zador VP, number 477, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, 5th and last game finished for Eigen's Push2Plat event, and just in time before the PS5 gets here. It was a nice break being back in the world of Deus Ex. Not too challenging a trophy set either. We'll have to go back and finish the 2-story DLCs at some point. Congratulations, sir. I believe there's definitely something difficult in that game. I didn't play it, but whether it was the online components of the game or something. But, I know you love the stealth game, so perhaps not too difficult for you. But that's a wonderful effort, and congratulations. And that brings us to, here we go. Oh, his second one, number 478. It never ends this week, listeners. Astro's Playroom, like Rick. This is my first PS5 Platinum, and it sure was a great way to start this gen. Very nostalgic, with lots of fun, little references to classics first and third-party PlayStation games, from Final Fantasy VII Remake to Until Dawn and beyond. Renichi, a long time no see. I hope you have been well, sir. Number 176, Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood. Number 177, Battlefield Bad Company 2, 100%. These are like games that before I even started gaming, Renichi. It's wonderful to see somebody is playing them. It's great. And although not a plat or 100%, Time Crisis Rising Storm Arcade mode done. On a DualShock, I might add. Congratulations there, sir. It's wonderful. Teresa, No Man's Sky, my first PS5 plat. Not that I played it. Who knows if or when they will patch out the cross-save trophy auto-pop. So look, there you go. There's another one. No Man's Sky, apparently. which, you know, I'm sure there'll be many people happy to get another plat in that. And it does beg the question, imagine if Sony do put that. That would be a good way to force people into the next gen, or at least trophy hunters. But, you know, I don't think they'll do that. You know, I think they have enough problems trying to figure out the store themselves. Concept Destruction, PS5. Today is an important day as it marks the first Ratalaika PS5 release. It's wonderful, isn't it? You know, at this point, I suppose the spam will lead us, you know, firmly into the next generation, and I'm very interested to hear. I haven't heard yet, but how does it hold up on the PS5? You know, what are the comments? You know, it's a powerful system. I imagine you're seeing some impressive control here in this Concept Destruction. More for another day, perhaps. The Mooseman AS. Wow, there's a third stack of that. That's impressive. I think that's fairly recent too. I've got angry at the button input puzzles every time I've stacked this game, but nevertheless, I enjoyed it every time. It's wonderful. I've never played this game, but I've heard good things about it. I think it's only a 2-hour plat, and there is an EU and an NA stack, and well, look, there's now an Asian stack as well. So, you know, do it once or do it 3 times. May as well just do it. And our last person, Satvia-Trophy _trophy, a new poster, first time poster. So congratulations, number 11, Need for Speed 2015. This is a classic, isn't it? And it does sort of hold up. I started this on the Xbox recently, and yeah, you know, it's very cringy, some of the FMV scenes, but the game actually, it holds up. It holds up. I like it. So there you go, listeners, the end of another big episode. It was good to be back with you again this week. It looks like for the rest of the year we're locked in for weekly episodes. Well, look, you know, at least till the middle of December, and then all hell breaks loose for the Christmas break. We do have some interesting topics coming up in the next few weeks, and of course we will then be looking at our games of the year. If you'd like to submit some of your top game picks for this year, and it doesn't have to be games that came out this year, just games that you have played platinum or completed this year, then please send them in. You can do so via the email, Twitter, or via the Discord, and we'll include them in the sort of end of year episodes. Of course, on the Patreon we have my top 60 games counting down, and I'm more than happy to keep all my game talk over there for now, other than to say that Yakuza 6 is amazing. Why did I not start this game earlier? And I'm not convinced that it has an ending at this point, but wow, what a story. I didn't think video games had anything to say anymore, but you know, this one, it does. It really does, and it bodes wonderfully well for the new Yakuza Like a Dragon that is available now on all systems, I believe. So until next week, listeners, be well, be safe. May the trophies be kind and the platinums bountiful. May your score continue to rise in an erect upwards position, and your completions continue to dive as you add as many new games in this wonderful gaming time that we are now in to your account. I'll see you next week. Take care. Push2Plat podcasts are conceived, written, and edited by CJ Anderson in Adobe Audition. YouTube upload handled by Repurpose.io. Music licensing by Artist.io. Push2Plat would like to thank all our Patreon supporters, with special mention to our Patreon producers Zador VP, Redbeard Rick, Ready to eBay, and MZ Nitro. Without your support, this show would cease to exist. If you would like to say hi, jump into the Discord in the show notes or on Twitter at Push2Plat. If you're interested in supporting the show, then jump on Patreon, the Push2Plat Patreon, where you can find more information on how to support us and to allow us to continue to bring wonderful guests and topics from around the world.